absolutely. It's almost like, we have to, choose between the two extremes, right? Or the proverbial fight between good and evil. But I think also in terms of one of the things you alluded to in terms of leadership, in terms of whoever's in the White House doesn't really have. I would say that our history is regardless of of who's in the White House, right? But having said that, leaders have to inspire people to do the right thing, right? Leaders have to also lead by example. It seems like now we're into a situation where what I call the politics of expediency. People need to be president, or want to be president, or want to to become governor or senator or congress people. Not so much because they want to lead, they want to inspire. It's because they are attracted, to the benefit or to the privilege that comes, to the role that comes with the position. But having said that, though, I mean that's part of what we are talking about. But going back to you, Dr. J, one of the questions that I have for you, in terms of as you are in your role right now, as a father, husband, educator, as dean of student at a university. So when you get out in the morning, what is that one goal or one value, something that you say, what, today, that's whoever I encounter in the world, I'm going to make sure that I do this in order to maintain that value that is so dear to you.
Yeah, I think the words that come to my mind are fair, dignity, and respect. And those last two words are pretty closely related with each other, to each other.
Yeah.
But that's what I think about. Maybe even add kindness in there to a degree as well too, right?
Absolutely.
That is what I believe every human being is inherently entitled to.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And in some respects, I don't care if you are a newborn baby or someone who's committed heinous crimes and is sitting on death row.
Yeah.
And I know some people may disagree with me on that last note, but I think the dignity and respect and kindness always has to come into play.
Oh, absolutely.
No matter who the person is. And, going back on some of those other points that we talked about already.
Yeah.
Just imagine if not even, at the surface, people would treat each other with a degree of kindness, with a degree of dignity, and a degree of respect, and mean it, right?
Yes.
Not to be superficial about it.
Right.
But to really treat each other in that manner. You talk about the progress that we could make as a people.
Yes, I agree.
We could probably do so much more. And, unfortunately, what we've seen in many of our leaders, no matter what the industry or no matter what side of the aisle they may come from, many of them have failed in that respect.
Absolutely.
And so I find myself one who will be, it's not Democrat, Republican, conservative versus progressive. I look at people for how they really look at and treat one another and feel that other people should be treated. So those are the thoughts that come into my mind, as you say, when I wake up in the morning, when I walk into the office, when I have a conduct hearing on a student who may have violated some university policy. And listen, I could be really upset that the student has done something so bad, or I could even be bewildered of the fact is like, how could you be so stupid, right? And I know some people don't like the word stupid, but how can you be so stupid? But nonetheless, my goal is always, if they haven't already arrived at that point, to help that individual understand that they could have made better decisions.
Exactly.
That these sorts of things did not have to happen without ever having to frame it in the standpoint of, are you dumb? Are you stupid? Because I understand that these are very intelligent young people who I believe truly know the difference between right or wrong, or at least know what the rules are.
Well, right.
And how to abide by them.
Absolutely.
As necessary.
Yeah, I know we have this thing in social work. We call it, you help people as therapists, we help people to get to a point of insight, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And then look at their decisions and then see how, if they chose to do something different, it would have had a different outcome, right? And then that it's never too late to learn, because we live and learn, right? So learn from your mistake and then move on. But if you continue to do the same thing over and over again, right, then insanity
is what
insanity,
they call that.
right? That's what they call it. Yeah. So, Dr. J, as we're coming to the end of a very fascinating conversation, and again, I thank you for your time this evening. So, what are your hopes for 2021, or your hopes and wishes?
My hope for 2021 is to be able to go to a Major League Baseball game again.
There you go. Yeah.
Or even a minor league baseball game. Yeah. Go Hartford Yard Goats. What are my hopes for 2021? I think besides kind of the proverbial continued good health and family and a degree of prosperity on many different levels. I just want to see people doing well. I want to see people doing good.
Yeah.
I want to see people, as I stated earlier, appreciating each other for what they bring to the table.
Yeah.
Even if it's starkly different from what you have or what you bring to the table. I'd love to see people, increasing their level of engagement with one another and kind of coming out of our silos and our various pockets and corners that we sit in. I think those would be some positive steps out of what has been a very trying year. For many Americans. So I just at the end of the day, I just want good for everyone. I want to see everyone do well. I want to see everyone succeed in some way, fashion, shape, form. And encourage people to find that, and part of finding that, again, is talking about identity and being different. It's not necessarily doing what you see the masses doing.
Right.
Not necessarily following what everybody else seems to be doing or thinking about. Getting some of our accounting students to think, you don't necessarily have to go and work for one of the top accounting firms. There are other agencies and industries that need your knowledge, that could benefit greatly to your knowledge. And in many ways, shapes, and forms, you would be given back to the greater good in more ways than you can possibly imagine.
Absolutely. Right? So essentially, don't pursue the big checks, right? The big paycheck or the big salary. I mean, even though we all need to earn a living, but
you got to survive, right? And we understand that money makes the world go round. But if we can just change our outlooks a little bit different, change the way we interact with people a little bit more, a little bit further. I think there's plenty of progress
absolutely
to be made.
Yes. Dr. J, I want to thank you for always being optimistic, for always being the light. You always when I see you, I always feel like you are the type of man or person who would bring the light in darkness, right? Who would find solutions to problems. You are always so generous, so optimistic, such a kind-hearted person, and a very thoughtful, intelligent man. For that, I can tell you, man. For me personally, what you bring to the table has benefited me a great deal. And
I appreciate those comments, Ronnie.
It's a blessing and a pleasure. And by the way, we finished our, I don't want to call it an interview per se, a tete-a-tete or nice exchange without talking about basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Haitian sensation.
You know what I mean? Part two to come. So my brothers and sisters, it was my pleasure to welcome to our podcast the one and only Dr. William Johnson, PhD, Dean of Students at Fairfield U.
Also known as Coach, too.
Also known as Coach. There you go. Thank you so much, Dr. J. God bless you. Be well. Take care.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Okay. Bye-bye. So long.